So, I like to tell people that a lot of what they see around them is window dressing. It looks good from the outside, but they're starving people on the inside. And so, a little known fact, about 40% of the people here in our area are food insecure. And so the garden helps to fill that gap. There are resources for people who are food insecure. There's the food bank, there's LovePacs, and most of the items that they get, though, come out of a can or a box. And so we are there to provide those families with fresh, nutritious, organic vegetables to help fill out that plate.
Welcome to today's Heart of the Hustle. We are highlighting nonprofits in the North Texas area this week. And we are here with Michel Hambrick from the St. Arbor's Garden in Little Elm, Texas. And thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So excited. So we've known each other for a long time. I actually just went to the Gala recently, but tell us a little bit about St. Arbor's.
Well, St. Arbor is an 1.5 acre community garden located right on the border between Frisco and Little Elm. And it has been in existence since 2019, and its sole purpose is to feed those who are hungry in our community.
Wow. We always think of Frisco, Little Elm, this area of North Texas as kind of very affluent. Tell us a little bit more about the families that you serve.
So, I like to tell people that a lot of what they see around them is window dressing. It looks good from the outside, but they're starving people on the inside. And so, a little known fact, about 40% of the people here in our area are food insecure. And so the garden helps to fill that gap. There are resources for people who are food insecure. There's the food bank, there's LovePacs, and most of the items that they get, though, come out of a can or a box. And so we are there to provide those families with fresh, nutritious, organic vegetables to help fill out that plate.
So what are some of the things you grow?
Oh, wow. It's like right now we have melons, we have Chinese long beans, we have squash, we have cucumbers, we have radishes, we have beets. You name it, and we've probably tried to grow it out there.
And does it change by the season?
It does change by the season. Like you couldn't grow spinach in the middle of summer. It would die.
These are things, I have a black thumb. So these are things I don't know.
Well, right now we have okra, and okra thrives in the sun. And so, yeah.
That's a very southern kind of veggie. Mm-hmm. Is it a veggie or a fruit?
It has seeds, so it's a fruit.
Okay. Mm-hmm. There you go. Who knew? Fried okra is something I'd never heard of until I moved to Texas.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a delicacy.
It is a delicacy. So how do you distribute the food? Are people just do they just come by? Is there like a store? Are there other organizations that you work with that take the food? How does that work?
So there are other organizations that we work with. Right now we have partnered with the Little Area Food Bank. We have also partnered with LovePacs. And so during a harvest day, we will either take those items to them, or if they have the manpower, they will come and get them and take them back to their locations and do the distribution. But it is not uncommon for people to know that we're there and come out with their bags and ask if they can take some things with them, which we are always willing to share. And I'm so excited because the Little Elm Rotary Club, earlier in the year, one of their platforms is food insecurity. And so they donated funds to St. Arbor so that we could start our own tiny food pantry. And so even if we're not there, people will still be able to get some of those dry goods. And when we're there, we'll supplement with fresh vegetables as well.
Oh, that's amazing. How often are people there? Do you have a full-time staff, or what does that look like?
So right now we have a part-time gardener who is there on Mondays and Wednesdays, but there are volunteers out there all week. We have a big whiteboard, and if you're reading this, these are the tasks you need to get done today. And so volunteers are welcome as long as they have been through training, which at least one of the main volunteers.
Okay. And what kind of volunteer things do people do? Are they planting? Are they weeding? Are they picking?
All of the above. I like to tell people sometimes gardening is really, really fun. And then sometimes it's not. So on weeding days, it's not a lot of fun. On cleaning days, it's not a lot of fun. But, it's all necessary to keep everything growing and thriving.
How did the garden start?
The garden started in 2019, and the story that was told to me was Pastor James Hutchins, who's the visionary founder, was having dinner with a friend of his, and he just kind of casually mentioned, wouldn't it be nice if? Well, she happened to be a project manager, and she says, I can help you make that happen. So I had met her 2 years before at a networking event in this very building. Now that I think about it, it was called something else back then. And so I met her at this event. 2 years later, she calls me because she remembered me and said, hey, you know a lot of people in Little Elm. You think you can help me get this off the ground? Here's what I'm doing. It's like, I know nothing about gardening. And she said, no, you don't have to know anything about gardening. You just have to help spread the word. So that's how I got involved.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you've been involved from the beginning.
From the beginning. I was at the very first meeting in 2019, in November of 2019, actually. Yeah.
So how much food do you produce per year?
Thousands. So last year it was somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000 pounds. This year we were hoping for 5,000 pounds, but we had a little bit of a setback. We've been told that a garden our size can yield 10,000 pounds of vegetables per year. So that is what we are gearing towards.
Wow. And how big is it again?
It's an acre and a half. And so in the very back, I don't think I told you, we also have an aquaponics, hydroponics greenhouse in the very back where there is no soil. Everything is grown in water and with nitrogen from the fish. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, how can we support you?
So you can support us by following all of our social media pages, St. Arbor Community Garden. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, soon to come TikTok, because we want to show people how to do stuff and how much fun it is hanging out with us in the garden. You can also make a donation. So you can do that via our website. You can do a one-time donation or a reoccurring donation. We will also be participating in North Texas Giving Day in September. And so if you'd like to wait until then to make a monetary donation, you're welcome to do so.
And do those get matched? How does that work?
So during North Texas Giving Day, those donations get matched, and they have a very elaborate calculation and formula that they use, and I'm not privy to how they're doing it, but yeah.
That's amazing. And then you have a gala every year.
Last Saturday in June every year is our annual Garden to Table Gala. That is our one and only fundraiser of the year, and it's always a lot of fun. The community loves to be involved, and you were there. Did you have a great time?
I did have a great time. And the venue was right next to the garden, yes. So we actually went out and checked out the garden.
Oh.
We should have taken pictures. We're in these big, I'm in this big gown. My husband's in a suit, and we're 90 degrees in Texas out there walking through.
Should have taken pictures. Vanessa, our gardener, said, if anybody wants to come over and take a look at the garden, I was like, people are going to be in their fancy dresses. They don't want to walk out here. You are the one person who did.
Oh, probably the one crazy person. We wanted to volunteer and come out and get our fingernails dirty.
Get your hands dirty, make a difference. That's what we love to say. So if you'd like to volunteer, we do have a link on our website. Just sign up there. We have days and times that we are accepting volunteers and a list of possible duties that you'll be expected to do while you're out there. But everything's on the website. We try to make it really, really easy.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.